Welcome to the Pushing Beauty podcast. This is Michelle Diavella, and these are words from my soul. Show and tell. Why you need to be seen and heard. In kindergarten, show and tell is an exciting time. You get to pick out your favorite things, bring them to school, and tell everyone in your class why you love these things so much. At 5 years old, you parade into class with your doll, your book, or hamster in tow. Well, guess what? You're excited. These are things you love and care about. They are pieces of your soul. And there's nothing more thrilling than sharing with everyone why you think these things are so wonderful. You are lit up. Being a kid, pre-self-consciousness, anxiety, and cultural conditioning is a magical time. You share unabashedly, and most people care about what you have to say. It's a time before we've decided to believe there's something wrong with who we are and what we feel. In kindergarten, we don't judge kids for what they choose to bring in for show and tell, and we don't criticize the way they express it. Jimmy gets a B- for bringing his sister's teddy bear, -1 for not following the rules. He spoke too fast, -2 for being too excited. And he could have made his points much more clear if he made better eye contact. Like, what? Fast forward to high school, a time when we have culturally decided sensitivity is not as important as measuring us against our peers. In my high school English class, we were given journal entry assignments. I was bold enough to write tragic, dramatic love stories that were shared with only my teacher. I just pulled out my old 5-star folder, you remember those? Out of a box, and I just read 2 of them. The first is a story about a girl who's at a club. Side note, you probably didn't know this about me, but I was kind of, sort of, definitely a raver. And so the first story is about a girl who's at a club having a flashback about her jealous boyfriend getting in a fight with a guy who kissed her. He ends up getting knifed and dies. The second is about a man who keeps trying to kill himself to escape his girlfriend, who is always there to save him. I write, tonight on the balcony, he gazes through the eyes of his enemy. There was no more saving him. He ran to the ledge and glanced down 16 stories to the cement sidewalk. He jumped, and on the way to his death felt relief. He was almost there, ready for the hit, when she caught him. I seriously haven't laughed that hard in a long time after first reading those stories. The story ends with them in bed together in the morning. She declares her love for him, and the last line reads, "He speaks in his mind words he can never say out loud, words that eat at his soul, but I don't love you." So yeah, I was a dramatic 16-year-old, and it's fun and easy to tease myself about this writing. But it also helps me remember who I was and how I felt at that age. Also, thank God I have done so much healing work. I felt a very deep sadness about life, and I struggled with the notion of death. I didn't believe anyone could love me. I felt misunderstood and alone. My writing reflected that. Writing was the place I could share my feelings and release some of the weight I was carrying. To be honest, I'm surprised I was willing to share those pieces with my teacher. Maybe I was naive enough to believe he wouldn't recognize there was truth in creative fiction. Maybe I thought I was such a good writer that I didn't care what he thought. I don't remember. I do remember that it felt really good to share it. It allowed me to be seen and heard in a way I thought no one else was willing to. Fortunately for me, my papers were marked with a few red dots of ink and numbers in the 90s. But there's something that feels inherently wrong about grading a creative writing piece. Imagine being told that your creativity isn't A-worthy. That kind of experience can stifle us for the rest of our lives. Creativity is magic, and magic only happens if you're free to release it. Measuring creativity confines it. And when we confine creativity, it doesn't serve its purpose. Creativity is about play, exploration, and a deep-seated human desire to birth life to a feeling and a moment in time. This is why creativity heals. It's a medium of self-discovery, but more than that, it's a tool for moving energy. A month after my heart was broken, I signed up for a retreat. I had no idea what to expect, but on day 2, I found out there would be an opportunity for sharing our writing. I couldn't remember the last time I read a piece of my creative writing to a group. I might never have, but immediately I knew I would share. On the break, my heart spilled easily onto paper. I wrote about my deepest feelings and fears. Aside from one scratched out word, there was no editing involved. I sat in a circle and read that poem to 50 people. I almost cried a few times. My voice quavered and I took some deep breaths. This was a new experience for me, being in my body, taking up space, being seen and heard at my most vulnerable. I allowed my soul to be seen and heard because it was time for me to show up for myself. My mind could have given me a million reasons why I shouldn't share, but none of them would trump the need to honor myself in this way. I didn't share my writing because I wanted to be loved for the way I express myself. I did it for the feeling of satisfaction my soul would have when I was done. And yet, in the end, I felt loved. The eyes and ears on me weren't judging me. At least I would never know if they were. Everyone smiled and clapped. Later, a few people told me they had the same fears and they thanked me for sharing mine. Something changed in me that day. I realized the profound power of being witnessed. We are missing this simple sense of community that's an integral part of our healing. Our fears are familiar. Our love is the same. Yet we keep the way we feel hidden from one another. Something magical happens when we share our creativity and community. Yes, emotions can surface as we heal, but on the other side of that pain, we're reconnected with that 5-year-old who can't wait to share the things they care about with the world. Writing is a bridge to the soul. Giving yourself permission to share yourself in community brings you closer to yourself. I don't know if there's a more nourishing feeling than to be truly seen for who you are. That is what I wish for you. May you have the courage to open your mouth and let your soul come out. So I've created an adult version of Show and Tell. It's a monthly workshop for creatives who are ready to be seen and heard. Now more than ever, we're feeling called to speak our truth and share our voices. For sensitive people, it can feel really difficult to share our souls with the world. This group is a safe space to work with being witnessed in your creative expression. This workshop is for you if you're ready to move through insecurities, risk using your voice, and release what's keeping you small. We use a free video platform, allowing a more intimate and connected online experience. Each person will introduce themselves, we'll do a very brief grounding meditation and intention setting, and then I'll guide you through a 40-ish minute long breathwork session. Post-session, each person will have an opportunity to read or perform something they've written, about 3 to 4 minutes long, depending on how many people are participating. And the video will highlight each person sharing, so it'll allow you to be seen and heard in community. So sort of think the moth meets healing in a virtual setting. I know this can be really intimidating for a lot of people, but just know that everybody who is participating is feeling very similar to you. In addition to the monthly workshops, there will be a private Facebook group available only to those enrolled in the Show and Tell membership. The Facebook group will act as a place of continued connection, inspiration, sharing, and accountability. For those who live in time zones which make it difficult or impossible to attend live, this is a really great way to connect and share. For those who can't attend live, you can work with the sharing element by recording yourself reading your piece and sharing it with the group in the Facebook group. So who is this for? This group can serve you in a number of ways. Sharing anything we have created makes us feel vulnerable. In that vulnerability, we find growth and healing. If you have a book, a script, a larger project you're working on, use this group as a place to share your writing and be held accountable. Let the group inspire you. Hearing other people share their writing and be vulnerable inspires us to show up for ourselves in the same way. Even if you don't always have something to share, listening and witnessing others can motivate you to begin creating. Using your voice to express yourself in front of other people over time will change you. I know from experience. You'll probably feel nervous, cry, and then afterwards feel lit to keep creating. There is no safer space to share your heart and soul than with other sensitive creatives. Breathwork and creativity are powerful ways to expedite your healing, get to know yourself, and serve others through your expression. Yes, what you have to share means something to others. Stifling our creativity keeps us small and blocked. Working with your breath, voice, and creativity each month will help you open and transform. Those are a lot of really, really great reasons to participate in this workshop and to become a member. If you can't make them all live, absolutely no problem. All sessions will be recorded and available to watch from the Facebook group. So if you want to check it out, here are your options. The Show and Tell membership. These are monthly sessions, which include a guided breathwork healing and an opportunity to share your writing with the group. You'll have private Facebook group access, support, and inspiration. You'll have access to all recorded sessions, and you can stay as long as you like, which means that you can cancel anytime. It's $33 a month right now. Right now, you can also become a half-year membership and pay in full up front. You get everything that you get being a member. It's $175 for the first 6 months. Or you can do a drop-in session to just check it out. No obligation, $35, drop in for our next session on January 28th. I'm really excited about Show and Tell, and I can't wait to see you there.